So I'll move on to example number 2 here and give you guys a second to write that out. And I'll scoot it up so that we can all see in a bit. Alright, so example 2, it's basically just determine the formula for the exponential graph. And the exponential graph sort of looks like this. Here, and it comes in along the asymptote here, goes up, and keeps going forever. So this is an exponential growth type equation, and I'll scoot this up so we can all see. Is that better? Good. So this is an exponential growth, and we know 2 points on this exponential growth function. We know this point here, which is at 0, 3, and we know this point up here, which is at 2, 6. And we've done a problem like this before, so we're just kind of getting our feet wet a little bit here. And we have to go back to what our parent function looks like. And in this case, do we notice any e's in either of our points? No. So that means which parent function are we going to try? Which form are we going to look at? No, it's not a log. What is it? Yeah, ABX. So the parent function we're going to try, or the form that we're going to try to match, is going to be f of x is equal to a b to the x power. Now, we're going to make a table here of values. And this is just for those of you who might struggle a little bit to see the connection between the graph and the equation. If this is x and this is f of x, you certainly don't have to do this on any sort of assignment or test or anything like that. 0, 3, and 2, 6, just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and plug them into my equation now. I'm going to say, okay, f, when x is 0, f of x is 3. So I'm going to say that 3 is equal to, I still don't know what a is, don't know what b is, but I do know that the x is 0. There. Now we have to go back to our exponent rules, and we say b to the 0 power, obviously just 1, so we can say that 3 is equal to a. And we now have the a of our equation. To figure out what the b is going to be, we're going to plug that a into the equation. We're going to say f of x, or, yeah, we write the general form out first. F of x is equal to 3 times b to the x power. And then we can evaluate our second point. We can use our second point to figure this out now. I'm going to say that 6 is equal to 3 times, we still don't know what b is, but now we know that x is 2. And I'll try and scoot this up a bit. There we go. So now we see that we have b squared and we have 3, so I'm just going to do a little bit of division here, and that's going to leave me with 2 is equal to b squared. And this should look really familiar because we actually did this exact same problem before. And that gives us that the square root of 2 is equal to b. So now I can fill in the rest of my equation. I can fill in this b now. And I'm going to say that f of x is equal to 3 square root of 2 raised to the x power. But now this square root of 2 can also be described as an exponent. And I think this is the one that I've seen most people make a mistake with. This is the one that's the hardest for people to remember. So we always want to think about, anytime you have a square root or a cube root or a fourth root or anything like that, it's going to be 2 to the 1/2 in this case, raised to the x power. That is the equivalent of the square root of 2. If you think about the root you're taking is 2, so we're going to do the root goes on the bottom just like it does in a tree. The 2 goes in the bottom there. And just to simplify things even further, I'm going to go f of x is equal to 2 to the x over 2 power. And that right there is going to be the final solution.